This is the first semester exam review for 7th grade. Indicate the answer choice that best completes the statement or answers the question. Use a problem-solving model to solve each problem. Number 1. Rena made a scale drawing of her backyard. She used a scale of 1 inch equals 8 feet. The actual backyard is 60 feet wide. How wide is the backyard of the scale drawing? Well, we take what we know that they gave us, 1 inch over 8 feet. And remember, I want you to label before you go any further so you don't get your units confused. The actual backyard is 60 feet. So I find my feet and I'm going to put 60 in there. How wide is the backyard on the scale drawing? Well, we know that's going to be in inches. Okay, from here, we're solving for x by cross product. 8x equals 1 times 60. Well, we know that becomes 60. So you need to divide by 8, and you will have your answer. Number 2. The circumference of a round table is about 38 inches. All right, they gave us the circumference. What is the radius of the table? I'm looking for the radius. Remember, circumference equals 2 times pi times r when we're looking for the radius. Okay? They gave us the circumference, so we know 38 equals, and 2 times 3.14 times r. Let's do our first step, which would be to do 2 times 3.14, 6.28r. And then you need to get r by itself. To do that, remember you have to divide. So that cancels out and you have r by yourself. So you're going to divide 38 by 6.28. Okay, so remember when you're going to go over here and you're going to divide 38 by 6.28, 1, 2, 1, 2. Move your decimal over. Okay. Number 3. Find the rate of change from the table. 66 to 132 and then to 198. If you find the difference, and when you're finding the difference of a problem, difference means you're going to subtract. From those two, you're going to get 66, 66. So if I add 66 to 66, I get 132. If I add 66 more, I get 198. The difference over here would be 2. I'm adding 2 to every time I go up. So we have the change in y over change in x. Change in y, so this would be your x, y. Change in y is 66 over change in x, which is 2. And then you'll have your answer. Number 4. When diving, a hummingbird can reach the speed of 40 miles per hour. What is this speed in miles per minute? Round to the nearest hundredths. Okay, when I'm reading these or you're reading these, especially on the test, underline, circle all the important things that you need to know. Because sometimes we think they're asking this when they're really wanting something else for the answer. So make sure you know what they're wanting. Okay, so we know that 40 miles per hour to 1 hour. Okay, we've got to do some conversions here. 1 hour would be 60 minutes. Hours cross out, and I'm wanting speed miles per minute. So there's miles per minute. You multiply across, and then you need to solve the question and round to the nearest hundredths. Number 5, Ben is making a scale drawing of his dining room. The dining room is 14 feet wide and 21 feet long. He makes the width of the scale drawing 4 inches. How long should the dining room be in the scale drawing? Okay, so 14 feet wide to 21 feet long. So over here I want long, wide and long. And the width is 4 inches. So we're looking to see how long it is. Okay. So again, cross product. We're solving for x. So you need to divide to get 14 off. And you'll have your answer. Number 6, does the graph show a proportional relationship? Explain. All right, this one it's no math needed. You just need to know your rules. To be a proportional relationship, it must go through the origin, and it does, and it's a straight line. So it has a constant rate of change. Okay? So A, no, the graph is straight line that passes through the origin. B, yes, the graph is straight line that passes through the origin. C, no, the graph is broken line that passes through the origin. D, yes, the graph is straight line that does not pass through the origin. Number 7, assume the situations are proportional. Use the unit rate to write the equation. We're going to want to use the unit rate. Number 7, Janelle can buy a 24-pack of bottled water for $6.60. Write an equation relating the cost to the number of bottles. How much would Janelle have to pay for a 12-pack of bottled water if the ratios are proportional? Find a unit rate. Well, we know that for $6.60, I can buy 24. So find this unit rate, and that will help you solve your answer. Number 8, determine the total cost or scale price to the nearest cent. So nearest cent. A $30 bat is discounted 15%. So discounted. So $30 bat times 15%. And then since it's discounted, you're going to take your $30 bat, subtract your percentage off, and then you have your total cost. Okay? So your answer here is going to go there. Number 9, use a problem-solving model to solve each problem. One wheel of a bicycle has 24-inch diameter. About how many feet will this bicycle travel when the wheel makes 200 revolutions? Use 3.14 for pi, round to the nearest foot if necessary. Circumference. equals pi times diameter. So we have 3.14 times your diameter, because they gave us the diameter of 24. And then you'll have, but this is going to be in inches, and you're going to have to convert it to feet. Okay, so there's 12 inches to a foot. Okay, 12 inches to 1 foot. So when you get your answer in inches, you need to it's going to be a lot of inches. You need to divide it by 12 inches to get your feet. Okay? Number 10. Determine the circumference of a bagel with the diameter of, again, they gave us the diameter of 11.6 centimeters. So circumference equals pi times d. So we have 3.14 on 1.6. Okay. Number 11. Rectangle ABCD is similar to rectangle GHJK. What is the length of HJ? That's what I want to find. Okay, I'm going to label top to side. Okay, so my top is 10 inches on this one, and on this one it's 3.5. Okay, 10 inches, 3.5. I'll label it so I don't get confused. Which one did I put first? The top. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put my sides. Sides here is 6 inches. This one's X. So after this, you do cross product. 6 times 3.5 equals 10x. Okay. And you can solve it from there. Number 12. 8 is what percent of 64? Okay, remember, is of percent is always over 100. So 8 is, find is on top. 8 is what percent of is on bottom, and percent is always over 100. So cross product, 8 times 100 equals 64x. And you can solve it from there. Number 13. For her campaign for class president, Maya wanted to make posters that would fit perfectly around the cylinder-shaped poles in the cafeteria. Each pole has a diameter of 13 inches. How many inches wide must the poster be to fit around the pole without overlapping itself? Round to the nearest tenth. So again, circumference, pi times diameter, since it gave us the diameter. Okay. 3.14 times 13, which is your diameter, will give you C. Number 14. Determine the simple interest paid to the nearest cent for each principal, interest rate, and time. So we have equals principal times rate times time. Remember, time is always in years. So we have the principal, which would be 628 times your 5%. If I change this to a decimal, 1, 2, it's going to be 0.0. Okay, this is a multiplication sign. 0, 0, 5 times 4 months. Remember, we go by years, so you have 12 months. So your time in there. Okay? Multiply it out and you'll have your answer. Number 15. Juan is making biscuits. His biscuit cutter is a circle with a diameter, it's giving us the diameter, of 3.5 inches. What is the circumference of one biscuit? Circumference equals pi times diameter. It gave us the diameter, so circumference equals 3.14 times 3.5. 16. A local farmer's market sells peaches by the bushel. For each bushel costs $5. If you buy a certain number of bushels, you only pay a portion of the total cost. The table shows the proportion of the total cost based on the number of bushels. How much more will you save per bushel if you buy 5 bushels rather than 4 bushels? Okay, if I change this to a decimal, okay, 5 times 0.8, and then over here you're going to do 5 times 0.6. Okay, we're going to find the difference. So if I'm finding the difference, when you get your totals here, you're going to subtract them. And see how much you're going to save by buying 5 bushels than 4 bushels. Okay, this is your difference. Number 17. Kenzie bought a shirt for $18. The next day, the shirt was selling for $24.60. What was the percent of change? Round to the nearest whole percent. So no decimals. State whether the percent was an increase or decrease. Okay, before we go any further, let's just determine an increase or a decrease. She bought it for $18. The next day it was $24.60. Did that increase or decrease? It increased. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those two out. Now we're down to 50-50. Okay? So to find the percent of change, $24.60 minus 18. The original was $18. Okay? You can work it out from there. Number 18. The graph shows the savings of Kyle and Maya. What does the constant rate of change for each line represent? Okay, this is per month, and this was the money that they saved. A, the rate at which money was saved. B, the rate at which money was spent. C, the rate at which money was earned. D, the rate at which money was lost. Number 19. Assume the situations are proportional. Use the unit rate to write an equation. Number 19. It takes the Ramirez family 3 days to travel 1,560 miles. Write an equation relating the distance m to the number of days. How many days will it take them to travel? Okay. 3 days to travel this amount. Run equation, distance m to the number of days. So we want the total miles, but we're going to have to find the unit rate. So find how much they make in the travel in 1 day. That will help your equation because whatever it is for the unit rate, you just have to plug it in there. Okay? Number 20. A truck driver drove to a city 210 miles away in 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. If her next trip is 165 miles away and she travels at the same rate, how many hours will it take her to reach her destination? Okay, the truck driver drove 210 miles away in 3.5 hours. So let's find how many miles they go per hour. So 210 divided by 3.5. And this will be per day. Or miles per hour. Okay, and then when you find that, multiply it by this. Okay, number 21. A 6-ounce box of vanilla pudding costs 0.72 and a 3-ounce box costs 0.27. What is the difference in cost per ounce between the larger and smaller boxes? So 6 ounces for 72. So 0.72 divided by 6, and then you're going to subtract that from 3 ounces and 27. Find the difference. Find your unit rate for here. And then when you get your answers here, you just subtract them. You'll have your answer. Number 22. Use a problem-solving model to solve each problem. Antonio's parents want to install new marble tiles for their rectangular bathroom, which measures 7 feet by 12.5 feet, 12.5 feet. The home improvement store offers special pricing. If the customer makes a down payment of 20%, the store will include free installation, which is currently 15% of the total cost of the tiles. How much will Antonio's parents save by making the down payment? The ceramic tiles $7 by 12.5. This is the area. Okay, and then you need to multiply it against each one of these to see how much they're going to save. But then we need to take the 15% off. Did it say which? Oh, marble. That's where I was missing. That's why we always circle information as we read it. We're only looking at the marble. Okay, so when you get this, you're going to multiply this answer by 8, because this is the dollars, and then you're going to save 15%. Okay, so you find the area of the bathroom. We're looking for the marble. Marble's $8 per square foot. So once we find the area, we multiply it by 8. But if we pay up front, we get the 15% off, free installation. So multiply it by your 15%, and you'll have your savings. Okay, 23. The table at the right shows the voting preference of registered voters. Describe a simulation that you could use to model the selection of a candidate. Remember, this simulation is an activity that you can use to help you choose something. Okay, and there are, if you add them all up, there should be 100 total. Okay, if that helps you. A, use a random number of functions of a graphing calculator. Flip a coin 15 times. C, roll a number cubed 10 times. D, roll a number cube and flipping a cube. Okay, I'm just going to tell y'all, because this one we haven't really discussed, and we don't use graphing calculators, but your answer is going to be A. Number 24. $6.95 for lunch and a $20 tip. Determine the total cost. Okay, so if we're going to determine the total cost, we have to find 20% and add it back to this to find the total cost. So 6.95 times 0.2 for 20%. Okay, this would be your tip. But total cost would be $6.95 plus your tip equals total cost. Number 25. Cyclists were 3/5 finished with their ride when they reached the 15-kilometer mark. How long was their ride? So they've gone 15 and they've finished 3/5 of it. Okay, remember when we're dividing fractions, you keep it, change it, flip it. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop right there for part 1, and I'll make the next one as soon as I can.